I'm Kate Aimson. This is my quilt stitch journal, Tristan da Cunha. I made this quilt when I was preparing to go on a trip to Tristan da Cunha, the world's most remote inhabited island. And it starts off with a heart, because I was having some health problems at the time and I really wanted to be fit in order to go. So I started this journal as part of my recovery, working on it, so I really wanted to be fit enough to go. So these pieces were done at home. I was gradually going for a little walk each day and then doing some sewing in order to get fit enough to go. So that took us to here, and then when we were here, this is when I started on my sea voyage. We flew to Cape Town, and then we got on a ship, and it was 11 days to Tristan da Cunha. So these are the passages that were done on the ship, and this is a porthole. This is the big Atlantic Ocean once we got out on the South Atlantic, and I'm not sure, I hadn't sailed since I was a child, so I didn't know whether I'd be seasick or not, and I'm not sure if it was doing the actual sewing and focusing my eyes that stopped me getting seasickness, but I wasn't seasick at all. Then we had a day with some very big waves for a couple of days, so there were some big waves here. And then we were stuck in the Atlantic Ocean with absolutely nothing, so I imagined that there was kelp underneath there. I don't know if there was, but I imagined there was kelp in there. Then we had more days of waves and waves and waves. Then we arrived at Tristan da Cunha, and it was wind and rain. So this is the wind and rain when we arrived at Tristan. It was just the start of their summer, but actually their summer was quite delayed. It was cold still when we got there. And then finally, one day the sun came out. And then as soon as the sun came out, it was scorching hot. And because it's a volcanic island, all the rocks are black. So this was all our walks along the black beaches and the black rocks, watching the fur seals, all those colours of the beach. And more sunny days, and I was feeling really, really well then after that. Yeah. This was a quiet day that I had in. Then this is when I started my community project with the kids. The kids at the school, they all made designs with hexagons, and then that eventually became a mural on the health centre wall. And these were some of the designs that the children did. And then that was the end of Tristan da Cunha, and we were back on the sea. So it was a 9 months trip from leaving home to coming back. And so this bit started before, and in the middle was when I was actually doing my community work in the school, and I was working on some other quilts as well at the time. These are the hexagons. I had some prepared and I took with me. So these are hand sewn, and this background is shown reverse side out. And then the separate motifs, it wasn't one a day, it was one, I called them one an event. I made a separate motif, and then those are appliquéed onto the original ground. Well, I was really pleased, because you can always get, from the Pennines area you can always get old bobbins from the mills. And I was really pleased. I thought I found a use for one. I can use them now, because there's lots of bobbins and lots of shuttles from the old Pennine mills. I started, like it was a lot of people, my grandma taught me to sew, so I started that, and when I stayed at my grandma's house, I was in my aunt's bedroom, and she had a patchwork quilt on her bed that my grandma had made her. So I used to stay up and look at the quilt. We moved house when I was 11, so it was after I was 11 I started. But I never read instructions, so I only looked at pictures. So it took me a long time to work out how to do it, because I wouldn't read the instructions.